making Salisbury steak.
Salisbury steak for dinner. You ready for this? Alright.
It's actually for foods.
We always make it for foods, Mila.
Not all the time. We do.
We always eat everything that we make. Start out with 2 pounds ground beef. 80-20, because I like 80-20. Well, you can use really whatever you want. 80-20, 90-10. I like 80-20. Adds a little bit of fat in there so that we can make a gravy with it after the fact. I'm gonna take about half of this onion and I'm gonna mince it real fine. And I'm gonna put it in here with the ground beef. And then I'm gonna take the other half and I'm gonna slice it. And we're gonna use that for an onion gravy. Put a really fine dice on here. You know what? We're actually probably just gonna toss a quarter of that. Let's do a quarter. A quarter of this onion. We're gonna fine dice. And that is going in here with our 2 pounds of ground beef. We're gonna go ahead and slice that. Which just makes me sad about the onion. The entire time. I just murdered that onion. Golly, those are stout. Sliced onions can go in the fridge for now. We're gonna add plenty of ground pepper, a little bit of salt. We're gonna do about 2 teaspoons of salt, a tablespoon of dry sage, tablespoon of thyme, dried thyme. We're gonna do a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce.
Wash your sister sauce.
Wash your sister sauce. I also like to add a tablespoon of A1.
A1 sauce.
Yep, just for a little bit of tang in there. Crush 4 cloves of garlic into this mixture as well.
Into the mixture. Is the smell of food?
Deliciousness.
Yes.
Delicified. This is a quick one that comes together pretty quick. You can do this about an hour. We're gonna give that all a good healthy mix. I like to just grab about a handish full of them. Give a little smack back and forth, let it know who's boss. We're gonna go and round it out. And then we're gonna kind of oval that bad boy up.
Oval.
Okay. Another one. Got a handful of meat. Slap it around, let it know who's boss. Okay. Or did you turn that on? Did you salt those?
Not yet.
Okay. This is about the time you want to get your potatoes boiling too. That's what Aurora's doing over there. She's gonna salt the potato water, which you should do. Salt the potato water. Turn it on high and let that get to boiling. Aurora, will you grab me a piece of parchment paper, please? This goes by a lot of names. Country steak. Actually, it doesn't. Salisbury steak or country steak. That's the only 2 I know. Yep, that's fine. Just come sit over here. Here. I'll show you a trick. So whenever you set parchment paper down, see how it's curling up?
Yeah.
Set the curl down. And then it won't curl at all.
Okay.
See that? So now it's not curling on me. So if you're ever like baking or something and you put parchment paper on there, set the curl down. So 2 pounds roughly made 8 patties, give or take. So you could do more if you wanted less. You can make them smaller, bigger, whatever, but that's kind of where we're at right there. We're gonna add a little bit of olive oil to get this party started.
They're popping around.
Not super worried about these cooking through. We just want to get a good sear on them. They will cook a little bit, but they're gonna be tossed back in there when the gravy's made. You can see my edges starting to brown right there. Then down in there, you can see it where it's starting to brown. To get a flip going.
Ooh, yeah.
And see how it just comes right off of there.
That's why we love stainless steel. Ooh, that's pretty.
Then nothing really stuck to the bottom, and flip. And we got some pretty brown.
Yeah.
Brown chicken, brown cow. You give these fellas just a little loving. Aurora got us hooked up on some mashed potatoes. So, there's that. See how nicely those came off from there? Yep.
Ooh.
When you lay stuff in the pan, lay it away from you. So these are all done. Now the bottom of that looks pretty dark, but nothing's burnt. Just looks dark on camera. The onion that we chopped up goes straight in there. Add mushrooms to it. I love mushrooms in mine. Normally I toss them in there. Didn't have any, didn't want to go to the store. I didn't put them in there. But if you like mushrooms, slice them up, toss them in there this time. It's a really good spot for it too. I'm also adding 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter. As these onions cook, you can pull up all that crazy color on the bottom of there. See how that's starting to come up? Can you see that over there? Watch this. See how that, look, the moisture from the onions making all that come up, and that's just gonna give us good flavor. I'll let this cook for about 10-15 minutes. Potatoes boiling away in the background. All right, we're gonna go in here with about 3 tablespoons of flour.
3.
So I'm gonna try and cook this down a little bit, get some flavor going in. I wanna be real careful with this part because we have flour in there, we can burn that flour. So we're gonna try not to, but we are gonna cook this down just a little bit. 4 cups of beef broth, a little bit at a time. We're gonna get all that stuff off the bottom there. More, a little bit more. I'm gonna switch over to a whisk. Okay, so the rest of that goes in there. We're gonna bring this up to a simmer.
We're gonna season
All right.
it.
Yep. To this, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of parsley flakes, half a tablespoon of your favorite Cajun seasoning.
Yeah.
Just like that. See how this is at a really, really good simmer now?
Soak in the sauce.
We'll go ahead and turn it down.
Turn it down a little bit.
Yeah, because we're gonna let this sit in here and simmer. And guys, don't be freaked out by the juices. Put the juices in there. That's all a whole lot of freaking flavor that you're missing out on from life in general. We're gonna get all of those submerged in there. Get them all in their little hot tub of kindness. We're gonna cover that up. We're gonna keep it at a simmer. And we're gonna go for 30 minutes.
We'll see you back in 30 minutes.
We're back. We got about a minute left on the timer. The last 15 minutes of this, I went ahead and left this uncovered. I wanted this to thicken up a little bit. The potatoes became fork tender, so I turned it off, waited for this.
Yummy.
We're gonna do some final. I think it needs a little more salt.
No more?
You guys, I don't care whose recipe you make, whether it be mine, Jesus's, Gordon Ramsay's. No, just kidding. I really though. I don't care whose recipe you make. Always taste it and salt to your liking. I'm about to show you how to make the best mashed potatoes ever on the face of the planet. 1, tips and tricks. Pro tip here. Get a potato ricer. Okay, this is a potato ricer. Whether it be this style or another style, grab yourself one of these. This is going to change your life. Literally change your life. I thought my potato game was on point. Then I got one of these bad boys. And it changed my potato game 5,001.
That's what they look like.
Now making mashed potatoes is a lot going by feel. Adding a little bit, consistency, checking it, stir it, taste it. But we got about 4 potatoes there. So I'm gonna do about 3 tablespoons of butter out of the gate. Heavy cream. These mashed potatoes are gonna be hilariously unhealthy anyways. If you want them delicious, make them delicious. Heavy cream, no milk, heavy cream. Okay, so I'd probably say start out with 1/4 of a cup. Now here's my second pro tip. Parmesan. Probably not gonna make it cheesy at all. It's gonna add this depth of flavor to it because we're not adding a ton of Parmesan. You know, tops are maybe making, add 1/8 of a cup. So there's my pro tips for the best mashed potatoes you will ever have in your life. Butter, heavy cream, and Parmesan cheese. Now, we're gonna turn this on just a little bit so that we can heat this. well we give this a good mix.
So the potatoes, they're so fluffy.
Yep.
They look so fluffy.
I'm not adding any more heavy cream yet or anything else because you can see we still have butter in there melting. We're gonna let that butter just melt away until we don't see it anymore. What's the most important thing you can do, Aurora?
Taste it.
That's right, taste it. Really good, but they need a lot more salt.
They're good, but a lot of salt.
Use that salt unless you have a heart condition or high blood pressure, and then don't use that salt. All right, Aurora, you ready to munch on this?
Yep.
All right, let's do it.
Yay! Fluffy mashed potatoes.
Kind of put that in there with a dent.
And some more gravy.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's some very, very good gravy.
Hot?
Yep. Very, very good. Yep.
That is so good. That gravy. If you guys do this, you end up with this hearty, deep,
It's
perfect
very, very perfect.
winter gravy. We done killed it. There we go. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Bye.
Join us every Thursday as we make your favorite food. See you next time.